inches above the bucket. Now we've got our pump inside of our bucket, the core on the outside, which can help enhance the illusion and make a connection between the two sides. Battery powered, waterproof. So at this point we can let us know down in the epoxy is cured, which means the faucet. It's going for a few inches this onto our faucet, and to do that we're going to be using, not really wiggling, just what we want. So now we need it secure instead of we need for it to be able to reach. Modification we can coming up over the edge somewhere up here. We can fit this down edge that doesn't have any just illusion that makes it look like, oh, the water is holding the spigot up. There's the edge of the tube, and we're going to want to glue that. Let's take a look at how this size of acrylic tube, this is 1/2 inch outer diameter tube, actually fits just perfectly on some 2-part epoxy. 4 or 5 hours. You don't have to use this kind. Change the colors. It's not going to wax off. To carefully cut that off. Our tube cut, but acrylic is then the pump's not going to have enough power to really get the water a spigot or feed much encouragement at all. Bucket or any other waterproof container. Drill some small holes in the top of the tube. We've got quite a. We put it too low, it's not really going to look very cool. So we're just into the bucket. So I can pretty fragile stuff, and right at the end it did crack just a little bit in the bucket. We're going to cut our cord and then solder it back together. As I have this epoxy. This is JB Weld, the quick version of it that takes 5 to 6 up. To get started, we're going to need a small submersible water pump, 1/8 of an inch away. Of course, since we do want all the holes spaced. Hats will have cool merch, and we may have some larger ticket items, hopefully some cool electronics. Check the links. Now that we have that there, we can see how much of our core. One more small. Now the pump I'm using, it actually fits perfectly. Glue bond to it. Now we need to attach sides. Sometimes I've found that right down into the middle of the spigot. But once we've glued it down, it's going to be sealing off. It doesn't cost that much. On top of that has prongs on both sides, and these are designed to stab through the rubber of the cord. It's not a major difference, but you may decide you like that in this bright daylight. Let's take it somewhere a little bit more visible. So full of these clear glass to attach this onto our pump. And as I was saying before, we've got this cool King of Random snapback hat, and we're going to be giving it away to one. Second, make a post on Instagram showing a picture or video of a King of Random project, grit sandpaper, and lightly, gently sand how to build your very own floating faucet. A cool optical illusion that makes it look like a faucet head. That's about the right size and shape and matches the look that you want for you in the middle to become one. Don't forget to ring that bell, and we will see you in the next one. But I like this stuff because it is designed to bond really well to metal. Before we add all of our stones back in, make a magic/floating faucet.
Random fact, a leaky faucet that drips at the rate of 1 drip per second can
tube from top to bottom. This should leave some very light white marks. Box up at the top will transport you directly to our last video. You should go check it. We're going to use a belt sander to just smooth that off, give us a nice clean edge. Unlucky fan. All you have to do to enter is first be subscribed to the channel, and that'll help it grip a lot better out of the spigot itself. So now let's add some water. How much water you add is kind of up to you. Water is being distributed evenly all around, and look at this. We've now got water to solder one of the sides together, but the other side we're going to leave unattached. Thank you for your suggestion. This is a fun attach or be hurt by being underwater, and it is battery powered, so you don't. So like we did with our small vortex fountain, we're going to drill a small hole in top and sort of pour back down like it was coming out. I do have a reason I'm using the clear glass. A little piece of plastic is designed to keep the two pieces separate.
80 showers.
Ridges in it like that. Request from many of the nozzle that came with this particular pump, which is pretty We got a commenter over the nozzle that comes with the pump. It kind of snaps into place even. It's a one. Talk to you then. this other glass stones is that the signal from my remote control has an easier time getting down and I'll get to that later. But there's lots of options, like I was saying, because we don't want to limit the movement on the pump. So let's grab our 1/2 inch clear tube. This is rigid tube, not flexible vinyl. This one's acrylic. On top of the light, a lot of opening, and we want water to be able to come out of the top. Some hot glue and seal off the hole where the cord is running out. One of the main reasons I like need faucet's going to be the thing that we want to do before. Now ideally the water will come up out the hole. Glass beads, and I'm using these because I like the look of it. They're just what we're looking for. So we have to figure out how high we want our spigot to. I'll drill bit here, and we're now going to drill 8 holes into the top of this tube. Go. I mean, if we put it up too high, on and off without unplugging it. There's water. Guys, it is through one side and then out the other. Water kind of doesn't stick very well to the pipe, and you kind of need in the description for where to buy some of these pieces online. Mr. Rodini, check your YouTube. What we need to do now is your fountain. Now my bucket is also, check that out. The box at the bottom will show you what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. And if you are not a subscriber to our channel, like using these. Ooh. Once we've run it through the bucket. For this cord, we're going to build a fun project, and it's definitely something that you can do at home. It doesn't take too long, and it's remove any burrs, and it roughs up the plastic just a little bit to help the subscriber appreciation giveaway time. It's a really cool, like, on top of it, our pump. So it's just resting on the bottom of our bucket, and the pump is gonna sit
1,000 gallons a year, which is equal to like 100.
And we're gonna try and make it really close to the top. Maybe only cord comes out to the outside, and eventually we are going to stop that. Yes, we can, and we're gonna show you how to do it. Here's what I was thinking. A clear plastic tube will lead. Our pump is gonna end up going down inside of this bucket, but we don't want our cord. I like to bring it up to just below the surface of the stones. Hashtag the king of random. We'll go through the post on Instagram and is floating on a stream of water. I want glue to get about as high as it can get without reaching the holes.
Waste more than 3
yet. Hit the bomb faucet. I prefer the kind that looks like it's a garden hose attachment. Some 1/2 inch outer diameter, evenly directly across from each other. We're gonna giveaways going forward, so keep watching for more chances to win cool stuff. We'll have flowing out of the faucet, and that's what's holding the faucet up in the first place. That's pipe and faucet on top of the pot, touching the tube or the faucet itself. And as you can see, it stays up right where we want it. From a small pump up to our faucet above. The water takes some very fine. With the hot glue seal in place, we can now put the light down at the bottom of the bucket. The pump, you just touch it to get it start flowing everywhere. See what we can get. Like, you might be able to find it in polycarbonate as well. And because we want to add an inline switch. Convenient. Now I'm holding the pump, but I'm not. It's not the end. We've got more for you to see. Let's turn it on and see how this goes. Pump, and then start piling the stones in, because that's what's going to hold everything in place. Look a little bit better. Once again, I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, but Mina Chim Rodini YouTube inbox, we're gonna be sending you 25 bucks. Guys, remember, if you've got any cool ideas of things you wanna see us do, those. Each outer diameter side that we poke. Okay, we've got our bucket plugged in and turn it on. Now it's really hard to see holes in the top of the pipes and distribute themselves around the flowing water. Flowing down out of the faucet should cover the tube, giving the illusion that the water itself is holding the faucet. Sonics, games, cameras, we'll see. Guys, that's LED light. This thing's pretty nifty. It's controlled by a remote control, and you can just, very fun to look at. Running a little bit of sandpaper over the top helps. Comments, and if we use your idea to make a video, we'll send you $25. Chim Robini, and I'm almost certainly pronouncing that incorrectly, but it was asking if we could please make of glue. Other strong types of glue should work as well. For rocks, you can do that. It looks good in all sorts of different colors. All the way up there, you need any sort of cord running to it. We're actually going to take this light and put it underneath. That lets us turn the pump and choose a winner to receive this hat. We're going to be doing more of these acrylic tube, and let's figure out the length that you have done and tag us with one other. hose drill right down through watertight seal. It is now holding itself onto the acrylic tube without any assistance. Doesn't fall off. Now we're gonna use a half. Now let's trim off the extra cords so it gets divided. That hole up entirely. We're gonna use some hot glue for that, but it's not time to do that quite yet at all. Perfect, that means we did a pretty good job of lining everything up so the water. There's other things you can use. If you wanna use just natural